What's up, everybody? My name is Joe Brown. This is the Heresy Financial Show, and today we are answering the question, how long can inflation last? Because in a free market, as you know, this wouldn't be happening. In a completely free market, you get deflation over time, a small amount of deflation. When you look back throughout history, you get small amounts of deflation that persist over time. Nominal prices, including wages, go down over time, but real wealth grows when you account for the deflation that happens. There's so much of a growth of real wealth, goods and services, abundance, that even though there's less money to go around compared to all the stuff, people get richer because you can afford more and more and more abundance because prices become so much cheaper. That's what's happened throughout all of human history. And the only time you get inflation is when you have it enforced and imposed upon the system from the top down, resulting in inevitable collapse. So inflation is always a short burst that is in contrast to the historical norm. But the question comes up then, how long can inflation last? Because sometimes it lasts a long time. And the answer is as long as incomes go up to support it. And this is a key thing about inflation that most people ignore, that incomes going up is what makes inflation persist. So one of the ways this pops up that many economists talk about is called the wage price spiral. So typically you think of like a company, let's say like Walmart. Walmart will hire somebody, let's say at $15 an hour, and that's a cost for them. They're selling things. And then because of inflation, they are raising their prices because the cost of their stuff goes up. So they raise their prices, and now it costs people more to shop at Walmart. Well, eventually, if enough, Walmart's a big employer, a lot of their employees are also their customers. Now, let's say these people can't afford, the employees of Walmart can't afford to shop there anymore. So they need to get another job that pays more so they can afford their cost of living. So they might start leaving Walmart or demanding raises. Either way, Walmart will get to the point where they will realize, hey, we need to raise our employees' salaries to, $16, $17, $20 an hour, whatever it is. And their costs go up again. But then in order to absorb the blow, they raise their prices on their goods, and you get a spiral, a wage price spiral. Well, what is supporting that wage price spiral is the fact that incomes go up, which allows people to continue to afford the things that they were still buying before. And so that income going up contributes to those prices being sustainable, which feeds back on itself. Now, at the beginning of 2020, there were a lot of people saying, hey, if we get inflation from all this money printing, the only way it'll happen is if we have employment go back up to normal levels. Well, that was partly right and partly wrong, because employment did eventually start to get back up to more normal levels. However, that's not the only source of income that people have. Number one, anybody who owned a home refinanced. So they got an extra $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 sometimes for their monthly income that was freed up now, that didn't have to go to pay their mortgage. Now they could use it for other things. So people's incomes went up from that. Many people did a cash out refinance. So you get a $20,000, $50,000, $100,000 check from the bank to refinance your house. That is an increase in income as well. The other thing is a lot of that money went into assets, and asset prices went up. There's a wealth effect where people feel rich from that, and sometimes do get rich because they sell at the right time and they were able to actually use that income from those capital gains. So you have incomes go up from a wide variety of factors, not just employment. Another factor that you get for increasing incomes is government income. So you have stimulus checks, you have child tax credit checks, you've got welfare payments, you've got money sent out, transfer payments from one sector of the economy, whether it's rich people or whether it's everybody through inflation. And those transfer payments are made to people to help out their incomes. So there are a wide variety of ways that incomes can go up that can help inflation persist. And this is where you get to the point where you see something like a Venezuela, a Lebanon, a Turkey, an Argentina, a Zimbabwe happen, because you have incomes forced up, even if it's in isolated areas. So you have something like bread or food will get subsidized by the government. That is one way incomes can go up, because instead of having to spend $100 on bread for the month, you only have to spend $50. That means you have another $50 now freed up for other stuff. And so government subsidies on certain things, government price caps on certain things. These are all in various ways incomes going up for individuals because you've freed up more income to be able to be used for other things. So the answer to the question, how long inflation can go up, if the government decides to do nothing and we don't have any more intervention, we don't have any more big changes in monetary policy or fiscal policy, then inflation would resolve itself eventually. If they just back off the pedal and say, let the chips fall where they're going to fall, let everything resolve itself, then it would resolve itself because high prices are the cure for high prices. Eventually, high prices will increase competition that will increase supply, and then that increased supply would bring prices down because the supply overwhelmed the demand. But if you don't have that free market approach and let things just resolve themselves, and you have incomes increased artificially, then that supports prices going up. One way we can see this is with gas. California, Biden talking about gas rebates, giving people gift cards to spend on gas. What do you think that's going to do to prices? It's going to push prices up. So then they're going to have to do price controls. And then the price controls are going to result in shortages. So they're going to have to ration, where you get all of these knock-on effects, these domino effects that just make the problem worse. You could also see this happen with housing. Interest rates and prices have continued to go up for homes, which has made basically more than half of Americans can't afford to buy a new home right now. And so you've got a lot of inventory increasing right now because people are trying to sell now that they think that this is probably the top and there's no more buyers. And so a lot of these people are going to say, well, I can't buy a new house if I can't sell my house for what I think it's worth. So I'm not going to be able to sell right now. So you've got this vapor lock going on where you don't have buyers, you have sellers, and you're just trying to figure out, hey, where the price is going to land. But either way, right now at current prices, most Americans can't afford to buy. And so you could have forced increased incomes by the government with 40-year mortgages, with down payment assistance programs, with lowering interest rates for first-time home buyers. You can have all sorts of programs in order to help out the first-time home buyer, help out the low-income home buyer that would be artificially increasing income for that specific area. So there are all sorts of ways this could come about that answer the question, how long can inflation persist? And it's as long as incomes go up in that specific area. So prices can keep on going up for gas as long as income keeps on going up to sustain the demand. And all throughout the economy for everything. If broad incomes go up, prices for everything can keep on going up. If incomes for specific areas go up because of government intervention, those prices in those specific areas can continue to go up because it sustains the demand. So I hope this helps. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments section below. And as always, I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.